Listen carefully, because you can't see now.
Wait, sorry.
Anyway, what's the story inside that? We can present.
We're videotaping this?
Yeah, but like the thing is not open, so.
Oh.
I just need the voice, so it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Okay.
Wait, should I do power? Wait.
So where do you guys come from? Like the last lecture, last workshop?
Marketing.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Wait, you guys came from marketing too?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, it's recording. Okay, I guess. No, just go ahead.
Okay.
We just need a voice, so.
Okay.
We can start.
Yeah.
Just a voice.
Okay.
That's all.
So hi everyone, welcome to Socials Workshop. I'm Andrea, she's Kelly, and we're your social chairs. Today we want to present on soft skills and hopefully teach you how to succeed in the business world, but in a slightly different way.
So when we were making our presentation and thinking about what message we wanted to send you guys, we weren't quite sure, but then we thought about what exactly social is and what we do in PBL for everyone. And honestly, it's the emphasis on having fun and making lasting connections. So like if you talk to any of our alumni or anything, most of them, probably all of them will say that they stayed for the people because they had like such great friendships and such great times here with the people. So as social committee provide these opportunities for you guys to all network and meet each other.
We want to talk about soft skills because it's something that's very special to our committee. When we look for CMs, you look for a particular type of person. That someone has to be fun and outgoing, interested in people, self-motivated enough to organize get-togethers, but at the same time can switch to work mode if we need them to.
And we believe that it's not only us that is looking for these set of skills, it's every employer that you'll encounter, like anyone that you're recruiting for or interviewing for. And ultimately, employers want to see people that they think that they can work well together, that have the skills necessary, and that people they think that can fit into their company culture as well. So we think that when you do something that you're enjoying, whether it be like a major or like a sport or a career, you're going to do much better at it if you like it and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. And social completely approves of that philosophy, and we're all about having fun.
So we want to ask you guys all one thing that you'll probably encounter in interviews. So what's one interesting thing that you would say in an interview about yourself? Does anyone want to volunteer?
I nominate the oldest person in the group.
What kind of answer are you looking for? Are you looking for more like
Something that you would say like if you were being interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
interesting thing about myself? Well, let's see. Okay. An interesting thing about myself is that I guess you can consider it interesting, but I'm very outgoing, so I like to talk to people a lot and get to know different people. And going off of that, despite whether or not like I might have the skills to do something or not, like I will go ahead and attempt whatever it may be and just try my best. I don't know.
That's a good one. Victor, do you have one?
No.
No? Okay, well what if we were playing like a game in PBL, like, and we told you
that's
to
what I
say
thought.
Yeah.
That's a typical interview, but I mean.
Okay, so if it was something that was just like with PBL people, what would you say?
An interesting fact. I almost died when I was 5 years old.
Really?
I was in the swimming pool. I think.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. It's like,
I mean, well, so our point with this like activity is that you want to say something that will make you memorable. So that is definitely something memorable.
Yeah.
Yay.
Maybe you can tell them that you conquered difficulties
I know, right?
when you were 5. So.
Wait, so do you like swimming now, or you don't want to touch a swimming pool?
No, yeah, I still swim. But yeah,
Conquering that fear. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So obviously what the interviewers are looking for is something that would make you special. So do you want to hear what we find are the best examples that we heard of?
Sure.
Yeah. So for one of the applicants for the social committee this semester, he put down on his resume that he's a Yelp elite. So that is one thing that stood out to me the most and made him a truly memorable applicant.
You know what I was doing. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
And our other example is something that you might encounter in a different type of situation. This example was that he was being interviewed for a school, and the interviewer asked him to teach her something. So he decided to teach her how to do a body roll.
Complete all the head movement, neck, abdomen, and all that.
Yeah. So these are just examples of memorable things that we thought of. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you can see, these little things truly make an applicant memorable. In the recruitment process, people often focus too much on how capable they are or how capable they want to present themselves to be. Even a recruiter at Deloitte commented on how people often forget the last part of their resume, where people put their skills and interests. So all big ideas aside, how do you make yourself memorable and stand out?
So first, you should think about what is your thing. So like if you think that you're not really sure, like you don't know if it'll fit right in the interview setting, think about like back when you were 5 years old and things that you like to do then and things that you have carried throughout your life until now, and like make it all one cohesive story that you can tell. And even you did it for college, like in your essays to get into college. So just think about all of that. And if you can't think of anything, you can talk to like anyone in PBL really, or any of your friends, the chairs, execs, or other CMs, because just talking about it, you can figure something out that people find interesting, even if you don't think that it is. And then after you figure out what it is, you can put it in your resume in the section that's like interests or hobbies, because that is one thing that, like, that's what they'll see before they even interview, and that's what helps them decide if they want to interview you at all. So make sure it's memorable that you can put in there that they'll remember. Yeah. And speaking of which, if you're worried about your resumes or interviews, we have a PD event on Wednesday that you can attend. And at that event, there'll be a bunch of alumni that were in PBL, and they'll help you. They'll look over your resumes. They'll teach you interview skills, and you can talk to them if you're having trouble finding your interesting thing, because they're all really helpful and they're really awesome people. Yeah. Back to our presentation.
So moving on, once you've jumped over the mental hurdle that who you are isn't that important, you move on to the next stage. And you should realize that just like companies choose applicants, you choose the companies too. Different companies are just like different people with different personalities. There are people who are both famous and nice, so just like Google, who have it all, fame and company culture. But what we want you to realize is that there are certain small companies that may be a very good fit for you too.
So we have some examples that we've encountered. Mine personally wasn't a small company, but I did find that when I talked to a lot of people, they didn't know what it was. So it's a little less well known in like the general public, but for the company is called United Technologies Aerospace Systems, and they supply parts for airplanes, so like all of the stuff that does the cabin pressure and all of that, they supply all of that. So when I was interviewing for them, I found that, well, they thought that I was the right fit because like during the interview, I talked about like nerdy engineering things that I did during high school. I was in a lot of engineering programs, but also I brought up the fact that I am now a humanities major. I'm a sociology major. And I talked about all the soft skills that you learn in humanities and how that can apply to everywhere. So I had a little bit of both sides, and that was something memorable that I provided to them. So they thought I was a right fit for their company. But on the other side of that, I thought that they were a right fit for me after my summer there, and I hope to go back later on, because now like all companies are doing innovative things to better themselves and stay competitive in the industries that they're in. And this company, it's a little slower with their actual products for innovating them, because they have to make sure it's like perfect, because all their parts go on planes that fly like thousands of people every day, so it has to be safe. So another side of innovation that they do is mergers. So it used to be called Hamilton Sunshine, and they've changed throughout the years. And this summer when I was working there, they had a huge merger with a company called Goodrich that also sells aerospace products. And this merger, it was awesome. It was so cool to see what they have to go through to get the deal approved, and they have to go through every country. They had to regulate it so that they make sure that they're not a monopoly over the entire industry. So it was really cool to see that, and for me, that's what made me want to stay and made me realize that it was a right fit for me, because I wanted to stay and see all of the changes and growth that they'll go through. So.
So the company that I worked in is called Cornerstone Research, and it's truly a smaller company. And it works in an industry called economics and finance consulting, which is sort of a niche industry. So it makes sense that not many of you have heard of it. But when I did my externship there over the winter, so this January, I was actually very pleasantly surprised by how incredibly nice everyone is. I mean, I had lunches with both the VPs of the companies, and we were just a couple of freshmen shadowing analysts. So they really didn't have to do that, and I was really impressed. And also, everyone is a huge econ nerd at heart, so they just truly enjoy what they do over there. And also, most importantly, the pantry is almost as big as all of the workspace of the analysts combined. And I'm not going to lie, the last part is very important to me. And so when I worked at Cornerstone, that is when I realized that when I'm looking for a company that I wanted to work in, I value culture over fame. Fact is, you shouldn't change yourself to fit a certain company's culture, and it is way more important and often more valuable if you find a company that is a good fit for you.
And so bringing it back to PBL, in the end we hope that you can find, well, we hope that PBL is the place for you. Like, no matter, like, everyone here is weird in some way or another, but somehow everyone, like, fits together, and that's why we all love it. We all fit well together with our weirdness and our weird things that we do, and, like, jokes that we tell, they're all weird. But yes, so basically everything fits well together, and that's what we want the message to be, that you guys take away from this, that when you're looking for a job that you find, you don't want just, like, a big name like Google or whatever, that it's something that is right for you. And if you're doing something fun, obviously you'll excel a lot more, you'll be motivated to network and go above and beyond everything that is your call of duty, and find somewhere that you really belong.
So we know that we say we teach you how to success in the business world, but at the end we also want you to know that succeeding isn't just the most important thing. Ultimately, it's about yourself and what you want to do with yourself in the future. So what we want you to take away from this PowerPoint are 3 things. 1, find something that is truly memorable about yourself. 2, realize that as much as companies choose you, you have the power to choose companies too. And 3, if you don't know what is that special thing about yourself, talk to us, talk to people. We'll always be happy to help. So that concludes our presentation. Do you guys have any questions or comments for us?
That's good.
I think we're switching already.
Do you guys know where you're heading?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, I know.